All right, check out our new sponsor, Greenwood Stocks. They want you to know how to be able to trade stocks and be your own boss and be free to travel the world by making passive income. We all need that passive income from stock market. What are you waiting for? Call or text 281-760-3170. If you didn't catch that, that's on your screen. Or check them out at social media, Greenwood Stocks, and catch them at Gmail, Greenwood Stock Trading at Gmail. And the YouTube channel is Greenwood Stocks. Appreciate them for giving me the opportunity. Check them out. We out. All right, Dave Chappelle announces that the Chappelle Show will be streaming on Netflix again. Let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Check out the music entertainment business playlist. But he did a stand-up where a 10-minute clip came out Thursday where Chappelle announced the news. A stand-up Thursday, a 10-minute performance titled Redemption Song, in which he thanked his fans for refusing to watch the show, the Chappelle Show, on the streaming service. I'm reading from CNN Entertainment Show. Shout out to them. He posted the set to the Instagram account on Thursday, along with Netflix Comedy Central, which ran the show from 03 to 06. Also reached out to Chappelle. Chappelle, quote, "I never asked Comedy Central for anything. If you remember, I said I'm going to my real boss, and I came to you," talking about the fans, "because I know where my power lies." Chappelle said during his set, "I asked you to stop watching the show, and thank God Almighty for you. You did. You made that show worthless because without your eyes, it's nothing. And when you stopped watching it, they called me, and I got my name back, I got my license back, and I got my show back, and they paid me millions of dollars. Thank you very much." It went on to say, that was a quote. It went on to say, this is not a quote. Netflix started airing the Chappelle Show on November 1st, but Chappelle publicly complained about Comedy Central and Viacom CBS licensing the show without additional payment to him. Netflix pulled it. Chappelle was the creator, the star, and executive producer of the show, and got nothing. Ain't that crazy? Viacom CBS, didn't have to pay me because I signed the contract, Chappelle said in November 2020. But is that right? I found out these people were streaming my work, and they never had to ask me, or they never had to tell me. Perfectly legal because I signed the contract. But this is a quote. Is that right? I didn't think so either. That's why I like working for Netflix. As for Netflix, Chappelle said he simply called up the CEO, Ted Sarandos, sorry if I butchered his name, and said, "This made me feel bad, and you want to know what they did. They agreed that they would take it off their platform, Netflix, just so I could feel better." Okay. Chappelle thanked the CEO, Ted, in the set, and he named Chris McCarthy of Viacom CBS. He named Chris McCarthy of Viacom CBS for making the past right. "Finally, after all of these years, I can finally say to Comedy Central, it's been a pleasure doing business," Chappelle said. So, I mean, obviously it's not right. Obviously, like many artists, selling their publishing, selling their masters, many artists, he signed a contract that he went in ignorant, not knowing what. And, we talking about Black History Month, which me getting older, it's like really bullshit because it's the shortest month of the year. But Ice Cube should be celebrated. In a time period before his, where James Brown, Sam Cooke, Ray Charles, they all owned their masters. They all had money. I'm not talking little money. I'm talking good money. James Brown had a jet. Okay? Back in like the 70s. Private jet. To Ice Cube, where at his time, where New Edition was getting messed out of money right before him. TLC, right with him, was, getting messed out of money. So many artists. I mean, Tupac Shakur. Look at his story. Biggie. Look at his story. So at a time before or after that Sam Cooke era, and before Jay-Z and Rockefeller came in and really had ownership, a little bit of ownership, Ice Cube said, "No, I'm not signing that shit that Jerry Heller had. I'm not signing that." He knew it was a bullshit contract because he had common sense. Oh, I don't get my money, my 50 or 60,000, whatever it was. I don't get my money unless I sign the contract. He said, hell no. You know, and he had financial freedom. And if he did sign the contract, he'd probably be right there with Dr. Dre in the DOC, shout out to Dallas, right there with Suge Knight, having Suge Knight get him out of his contract. And Dave Chappelle made that same mistake. Talking about I didn't make a dime off the show. That's kind of hard to believe, but if he didn't, he didn't. Executive producer, writer. Come on. And for Comedy Central, they could have shopped the Chappelle show to Amazon Prime. They could have bought it. They could have shopped the Chappelle show to who else? You got? Hulu. They really could have. Now, I mean, it's Viacom, ain't it? They could have shopped it to the CBS app. They could have had it on their own CBS app. But they made a deal. Viacom was getting a lot of money to stream that show on Netflix, which, what kind of money are you getting to streaming on the CBS app? You're going to pay yourself. So they understood the buying power of Netflix. They could have put it on demand, but Netflix pays so much money that, okay, we Viacom. We own BT. We own Nickelodeon. We already have a relationship with Netflix with our Nickelodeon. So, I mean, let's do what's right so we keep this relationship going. It wasn't about Dave Chappelle and people stop watching. The most monumental move Dave Chappelle made in this situation was going to the Netflix CEO and taking it off. And saying, we don't want to do this deal no more. Viacom CBS, hold on. We need that money. We want that money. So, they had to pay Dave Chappelle. The deal was too good. It was financially too good. And it's business. They didn't do this out the goodness of their heart for Dave Chappelle. Business don't work like that. There was business paying Dave Chappelle. It was business. It was, I mean, when you're talking about business, they don't do shit out the kindness of their heart for the others in business. They barely do it for the kindness of their own. So they wasn't going to do it because they love Dave Chappelle and what he brought to the table. If they loved Dave Chappelle, they wouldn't have gave him that bullshit contract. If they loved Dave Chappelle, they wouldn't have put that in contract where they told him to go get a lawyer. And getting a lawyer to read a contract is not that expensive. They probably gave Dave Chappelle a whole bunch of money in front of his face. He signed and took the money. He understand that he gave up control. So in that reality, it's the Comedy Central Viacom CBS show. But it wasn't people stop watching the show. That wasn't it. He could thank the fans all they want to. The biggest thing he did was go to Netflix CEO and say, take that shit off. And then Viacom CBS called him. Ring, 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 ring. Ring, ring, ring. And it made a deal. Before that, they didn't care about Dave Chappelle when he ran to Africa. When he didn't want to do the next season. Then I heard they gave the show to Kid and Pele. But hey, it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Check out the Music Entertainment playlist. All my social media links in the description. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App CJGood313. PayPal link in the description. That's there in the description as well. Two best way to donate. Share the video. Let me know what you guys think about the situation. One time for the one time. Goodfellow Sports TV. We gone.